And I'm delighted to say that we have the 2023 International Rose of Tralee, Róisín Wiley in studio. Róisín, good morning to you and congratulations. And thanks so much for coming into us in the programme. I'm going to read you a comment to start. It comes in from a listener who says, what a wonderful group of 32 fantastic people on stage here on the last two nights. Thank you to each one of them. Very well done to RT. You also need our support now more than ever, says Michael in Tralee. Another listener says, well done on last night's Rose Selection show. It was the best show of the Rose Selection. And the two co-presenters absolutely made it. They were absolutely wonderful. And a listener says, congratulations to the New York Rose. What a very successful festival. Excellent choice, wonderful show, great bunch of roses. Moshev says another. So people delighted with the programme. You must be absolutely delighted. You were in a bit of shock, I'd say, last night as your name was called out.
Yeah, I think the shock just comes with the fact that I've gotten to know these other 31 women over the last 2 weeks, and they're all remarkable in their own way. And I think, when we all walked on stage there to hear the final announcement, we, any one of us could have, been awarded the sash. And I was just so shocked to know that it was me. And, I keep saying how I'm speechless and I don't know what to say, but at the same time, I just feel this overwhelming sense of excitement to represent the 31 other women over the next year. So, yeah, I just can't believe it, but I'm so excited.
Did you have any inkling, any idea that, and I've asked, we had a couple of different roses in the studio over the last couple of days. I said, look, do you ever think about it? What would it be like? Or maybe it'll be me, or this week is going well. Any sort of inclination? I
mean, I think we all think about it a bit and we all talk about it, but we all have no idea what to expect of the of wearing the sash for the Rose of Tralee. So it's definitely something we think about, but we don't try to get caught up in it, because I think that takes away sometimes from the experience of getting to know the other girls and just spending time together. And then at the end of the day, they continue to encourage us to just be ourselves. And I think, by keeping the end game out of it, we kind of enjoy the experience more.
Yeah, and it is an experience. Like we saw the montage last night of all the places you visited on the Rose Tour. It's becoming kind of a bigger thing every year now. So that's kind of a collection of moments, those things you go through together as a group, the people you meet in Longford and Wexford and Meath and Offaly, all the places in Longford you went to as well. So that's all part of it, I suppose, before you even get here to Tralee. Yeah,
I think we started the tour in Wexford, and I think none of us knew what to expect, and Brona gave us an absolutely amazing tour. Every day has kind of gotten better along the way, and when I say better, I just mean, as girls we've gotten closer together, and we're, supporting each other in different ways. And then every county that we stopped in has given us just such a warm welcome. So we've just been basking the whole experience. Yeah, and that's been a key part of it, that it is that experience. It's an endurance test amongst anything else, I suppose. It is. I think we're all probably past the point of tiredness of just running on adrenaline. So it is a test, though. Yeah, it certainly is. Can you tell me a bit about, I suppose, what it was like being on stage last night? Yeah, so it went by in a flash. I think we've gone through rehearsals. We were all very anxious to get up there, and then it really is just a chat with Catherine or Dahi. You're looking at them in the eyes, talking about things you've talked to them about, 10 times already over the last few weeks and months. So there's a lot of anxiety building up to it. But then once you get on stage, I think we all kind of felt this overwhelming sense of calmness. Every girl that came off said, it's great, you'll do great. And so, it was, I can say the same, once I came off, I felt very comfortable. Yeah, and they did a good job of making you feel comfortable enough to tell your own story, which is important. They did, yeah. All of us have met with Catherine and Dahi multiple times before going on stage, and I feel like they both know so much about each of one of us, and we worked together on kind of what we wanted to our message to be on stage. So yeah. Were you happy with what you said? And you kind of told a story about, I suppose, the positives in your life, what you do, your job, also the challenges you had. You kind of lost your way during the pandemic, and different elements that tends to come into it more and more, in terms of not just being, this is who I am and this is my Irish roots. It's a real conversation. Yeah. At this point, I almost forget what I said on stage, but I think I am very happy with how the conversation went. I think the message I really wanted to give across was that, obviously I wanted to pay respect to my family, and thank you for them for all the support, and then just talk about kind of what I would love to do as the New York Rose and now the Rose of Tralee, which is just be a support system and a friend that has gone through so many different things in life that others may as well, and I hope that came across on stage. Yeah, it did. And one of the things about last night as well is the stories
stories from so many of the other Roses, the difficulties they've been through, their own challenges. We heard the story of Sydney Rose, who got that phone call in San Diego. I think she was in San Diego at the time. Her brother lost his battle with mental health. We had the Claire Rose as well. A lot of people telling stories of, I suppose, difficulties and troubles. With Offaly Rose the night before talked about being the challenge of being bullied. That gets conversations out there, which is a positive thing.
Yeah, I mean, watching the girls get on stage, we were just so proud of each other. The way that Aisling spoke about her family and, her parents, there wasn't a dry eye in the room, and she just is such a strong girl, and that goes for every single girl that got on stage and kind of was able to tell their story. And it's funny as well, we've spent the last 2 weeks together, but I think we all saw a different side of each other on the stage as well, things that we didn't know about one another. So it was like almost truly watching a sister get up on stage and tell their story, and we were all just so proud to see it. So, it was amazing to see how beautifully everyone spoke.
Yeah, certainly was. Tell me what last night was like after the announcement. You obviously the Midnight Madness being presented to the crowd.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, I think I had somebody on my arm the whole night. I don't know who it was. Sometimes, being dragged
being
in.
Led
yeah,
here.
Exactly.
We're going to go here. It's military precision in terms of timing.
It is. And then, you're in a car on the back roads. You pull up to a barrier. Somebody just pops out of nowhere, pulls the barrier away. It was unbelievable. Then there's fireworks behind me. I was, it's a whirlwind afterwards. And not only are you taking in everything going on around you, but also just the fact that you're just presented this sash, but then you get to see your parents. I need to take time to write it all down because I won't even remember everything this time tomorrow. But it was amazing. Yeah.
Did you get time to meet your family afterwards?
I did. So I did get to see my mom, my dad, my brother. I spent then the later night with my extended family. So yes, I did get to see them.
And they were. What were they like? Were they shocked?
My
were
goodness.
They delighted?
We just keep looking at each other, shaking our heads, saying we can't believe that this is happening. And it's just been such a win for my whole family. This is not. That's I think why I've been so proud to wear the New York sash, because it doesn't just it's not just for me. It's for my whole family, and I felt that last night as well.
Yeah, and I know one of the moments for you of your time was on that tour going through Temple Glanton.
Yes, yeah.
On the way here.
Yeah, so we had just finished up the tour. We were on our way to Tralee. So I had thought that all of the surprises of the tour had ended, but I was called to the front of the bus to give a quick tour of Temple Glanton, and before I knew, John, the bus driver, was beeping the horn, and my whole family was off on the side at the Devon Inn waving their flags, and my parents had just gotten off their flight from Dublin, so it was, such an amazing start to the Tralee portion of the festival.
Even that element of it, and there's been discussions this week about all sorts of things about the Rose of Tralee, the role it plays, whether it fits in a modern Ireland, but even that kind of little example of what it means to Temple Glanton.
Yes,
have you won it last night? It's just such a positive thing. I can imagine the place is buzzing this morning.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I know I'd love to go back and now drive through and kind of get to see everyone there. Yeah. But yeah, I think just this is so much bigger than me and, just us girls on stage. It's really just a message for younger women to, find their confidence and look at us as hopefully role models that have gone through so many different experiences, and hopefully to, empower one another and really just kind of build this community of people. So I would say, Temple Glanton, Kilmallock, Limerick, Ireland, everyone just kind of gets behind one another. And I think that the strength and kind of power that comes from that is beautiful.
Yes, indeed. We have another couple of minutes with the International Rose of Tralee 2023. The New York Rose, Róisín Wiley in studio is here. Lots of comments to get to, Róisín. Congratulations to the New York Rose, but also congratulations to Una Therese, head of the New York Rose Centre. I work closely with Una while on my J1, says a listener. You're nodding your head there, Róisín.
Yes, yeah. I work with Una, Teresa and Anne-Marie at the Rose Centre, and so it's going to be a crazy year together.
How big is it in New York and what made you go for it in the first place? I know was it from your family, you talked about it growing up, but that decision say, this is the year I'm going to go for it now?
Yeah. So I would say, the Rose of Tralee has been in my family my whole life. But so I actually went for the New York Rose in 2022, and I wasn't selected. And the reason I went that year was kind of like I mentioned last night. I was at a bit of a standstill in my life. I didn't really know what to do next. And, the Rose of Tralee popped up just through friends mentioning it like, oh, the selection is next week. And it just felt like the perfect fit for really what I was trying to do with myself and really kind of
You had an idea this is going to be, whatever it is, you felt it was going to be positive for you in your life.
Yeah, I mean, growing up as an Irish American in New York is there's an amazing, strong community there. And, participating in 2022 just allowed me to broaden that community. I wasn't selected in 2022, but I had such an amazing experience that I knew I had to come back in 23. So, yeah, that's really kind of the root of it. I'm so happy I did.
Where you're
oh
sitting
my goodness.
Right
now. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. Lots more comments. The listener says, congratulations to Róisín, New York Rose. The New York Rose last won in 2000 and her name was Róisín. Here you go, that's right. Róisín Ryan Edgerton was the New York Rose that won the Rose of Tralee 2000. Spot on, listener. Well spotted. A great show again last night, Jerry. The Roses were brilliant. A joy to watch. Another listener says, absolutely brilliant festival, both on the streets and the selection nights. Well done to the Gardaí and the stewards for making it safe, and the council as well, says another listener. And that brings me on to, I suppose, that point there. There's a whole festival around this, and there's been a lot of discussion in the newspapers, a lot of column inches about whether the Rose of Tralee still fits in modern Ireland, what it says about women. If you strip it all away, is it not just a judgment on women and how good they look in a ball gown? I was in Tralee yesterday myself, took a walk downtown. There was a brilliant young band called Aftershock. They were playing on the streets, just in the mall. They were unbelievably talented, and they played 4 or 5 different songs. They played Sultans of Swing from Dire Straits, but they just had a whole energy and a musicianship that was absolutely amazing. And it struck me, I said, like, this is just about much more than the televised event.
It is.
It's a festival. It's a reason to have a festival, to bring people. And I would never would have seen that band or known about them, and the people who were walking by. There was a huge crowd attracted. Middle of the day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about all that, isn't it? Just much more than the what happens on stage.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And I think all of the girls and I felt it when we were on the parade of light on Saturday night. Because when you're sitting on those floats and when you make eye contact with, a young girl or a young boy, and you wave up at them and they're looking at you as if you're, a Disney princess, it's that feeling of knowing that you are a role model for them, and you kind of just made their night, made their week. They're always going to remember that they got an autograph from a Rose. And to speak to your point on the festival potentially being outdated, I think there's just, how can it be outdated if it's making people feel strong and powerful and confident? There's just this beauty of, we're all coming in a different shape and size, and we were bringing, different history to the stage, and there's no better way of, empowering women than showcasing them. And, we have a firefighter, a policeman, doctors, businesswomen, teachers, all represented in just this class of 2023. And that's just the 32 of us. There's, so many classes before me that continue to be leaders in the Irish society. And I think if we continue to just kind of empower that group, these types of women, it can only get better. There's nothing that is outdated with that.
Do you think that by talking about the difficulties that many of you have faced, you're showing that, look, everyone isn't, you're not all visions of perfection that people have to attain to be, that you have your baggage, let's say, and you're human like everybody else?
Yeah, and so many of the girls and I have spoke, every morning we're getting up and we're trying to do our hair, trying to do our makeup, because we want to look like the princesses that, the young girls might see.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when we're talking and kind of talking about our stories, none of it is about how we look. It's about kind of the story that we're bringing with our families, with our past. And although what you see on a picture is maybe us in our dresses and our hair done, but, what comes out of our mouth is that's who we are, and that's what we're celebrating. Yeah. And I think that's, why we all have enjoyed this experience so much.
Yeah. Well, a listener gets in touch. Róisín, your family have always been kind, generous and supportive to the people people of Temple Glanton. You're a credit to your family, and we are beyond proud to call you our Temple Glanton, New York Rose of Tralee.
Thank you.
That's Louise from Temple Glanton getting in touch this morning, and echoing that, absolutely delighted there. And in Kilmallock, I'm sure, and in Limerick, the All-Ireland hurling title safely secured now. The Rose of Tralee. We were thinking it might be the Kerry Rose who make up for the All-Ireland loss, but wasn't to be. Tell me, the next year, what are you looking forward to? And you know, you obviously you're going to make arrangements with your work as well in Manhattan in marketing.
Oh God, yeah, they're going to be shocked when they hear this. It was already a bit of a struggle trying to explain to them what the Rose of Tralee was itself.
Yeah, how do you do that? I have to travel to Ireland for a week and a half or 2 weeks, go on a tour around the country, then go up on stage on one of the most watched programs of the year on Irish television.
Yeah, and I know I think I when I spoke to them first at work, I would play it down. I didn't want to make this up to be as big of a deal as it was, but my coworkers did come to my send-off in New York, and they saw the amount of support that I got just, from my friends in New York, and I can't wait to go back and, have them watch all the videos and see all the social media of everything, but yeah, that it is a funny thing trying to explain it to people though outside of Ireland, because like I said,
there's this show. Yeah. It's one of the most watched shows in Irish television every year. Girls get up on stage. We're there for a week. You have to get the nuts and bolts of it out there.
Yeah. Where does this happen anywhere else in the world? It doesn't. It doesn't. And so it's unbelievable. And so I'm thankful that it's so documented and publicized, because I want people to learn about it and to just embrace it, and it's an international festival for a reason.
And we saw that last night. We saw some of the social media coverage. There was doctors and students at Harvard Medical School who were watching the Rose of Tralee while it was going on from all those unusual places. So people connecting to it. Is that part of what you're going to do for the year to come? Promote it, talk about it?
Yes. And I think that was, as the New York Rose, that was one of the big things I wanted to focus on. It was just encouraging other girls to participate and growing this community. Over the next year, I am just so excited to think about the people I'm going to meet, the things I'm going to experience, getting closer to the 31 other girls that I just met there 2 weeks ago. I don't know what to expect, but I can only imagine it's going to be, the best year of my life, and I'm just ready for it now to kick off. And
yeah, and with that in mind, you see so many former Roses involved in the festival itself, whether it's judging or organising. There's a kind of a lifelong network set up there, isn't there?
There is, yeah. And I got to meet a few of them last night. Alice, who's the first Rose of Tralee, she was there, and she took me around the room and introduced me to every previous Rose of Tralee that was there, and she had a little tidbit to kind of tell me about each of them, whether it was their job or about their family or about the year that they were selected. And to think now that I'm part of this club of women is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you'll obviously be maintaining connections as well with the 32 or 31 other Roses from this year.
Oh yeah. I haven't had a chance to really see them yet, but I'm so looking forward to just sitting down with them and hugging and laughing and crying and enjoying it all together.
Yeah, the travel is a big aspect of it, obviously, and the that side of, I suppose, it. Will you be ready for that, do you think? You've 25,000 euros of travel, you've hotels in Tralee, you've a car, you've all those different things to work into the year.
I know. I'd say I'll have to invest in some good skincare and eye patches with all the travel, I am so excited for it all. I love flying. I love traveling. I'm ready to just kind of, take it all on. But I'd say it will be a crazy year with all of that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly. Well, look, I know there was an amazing buzz there and the amazing crowds that were there. Did you feel that when you were part of, when you got downtown to Tralee, the street side of it, the festival side of it? I know you mentioned the parade as well, that is a big part of this.
Yeah, I think.
And going to the future will be.
That probably was the most special part of it for all of us. It's one thing for us to be meeting each other, but then, and to get the support from our family, but to see the support just from the town of Tralee and the people of Tralee and from Tralee and beyond, it kind of hit home the importance of the festival and what it means to Ireland, and to go through those streets and to have people cheering us on that we didn't even know. Like, it was, for me, probably the most important part of this whole thing.
Yeah. One element I wanted to talk to you about as well, you mentioned Temple Glanton and Kilmallock. There's Westchester, the Irish side of it.
Yeah.
We'd like to get back there. It is enormous for the diaspora, isn't it, this festival? And what it'll mean to people in Westchester.
Now thinking, my Irish dancing teacher back at home, I was part of my family and I are part of the Eastchester Irish American Association, a whole community of people over there now to go back and kind of celebrate with. And unbelievable kind of the support that I felt from everyone, and I am excited to get back to New York and to see everyone and celebrate there as well.
Yeah, it will be absolutely fantastic. Of course, you don't know when that's going to happen. You probably don't know where you're going next.
Yeah, I'm taking it minute by minute now.
Minute by minute. A listener says, surely I'm not the only one to see something of Grace Kelly in Rose Róisín, especially in the eyes. There you go. That's one of our listeners thinking you're like Grace Kelly. So there you go. That's all part of it. Look, from that, Róisín, I know it's going to be a whirlwind for the next few days. Will you get a chance to settle down at some stage and think about it all?
Oh, I hope so. I hope I do. I mean, I sat in my bed last night and I said, how am I going to even take this in? That was my biggest fear, I think, the whole time throughout the tour is, am I fully savoring every moment? And I think I am. And, you know, it's just kind of the most unreal thing. I can't believe I'm sitting here right now with you. And I definitely think there will be a bit of time for me to just sit and breathe and just take it all in.
I was going to ask you, how was your brother John with all of this? My sister is the Rose of Tralee 2023.
He texted me actually last night and he said he was just so proud of me. And I think, you know, he flew over there a few days ago and he has just been buzzing kind of around the place as well. He had a flag in his pocket and I think he's just as excited for me as I am.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting year for him, that's for sure, and for all your family. Look, Róisín, we won't take any more of your time. We're out of time here, but look, good luck with the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations and well done again. Great decision to go again for the Rose.
Thank you.
And good luck in the next 12 months. I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
Hopefully.